Tom and Jerry Show is sponsored by findavenue.ie.
For over 10 years, findavenue.ie has been working in the Dublin area, helping thousands of companies with all their venue needs. From corporate parties to away days, training seminars, conferences, summer barbecues to Christmas parties. The lot.
As a pair of comedians who know what it's like when the wrong venue gets booked for the wrong occasion, we can assure you that findavenue.ie is the go-to service when you're looking for a venue for your upcoming event. Simply contact them at findavenue.ie and they'll do the rest, saving you precious time and hassle.
Best of all, findavenue.ie is absolutely free to use.
Get out of here.
I'm telling you now, with findavenue.ie, free means free. No hidden costs or sneaky charges, all backed up with an incredible team offering you great customer service throughout the whole process. If you need a venue for anything from corporate day out to a quiz night, a gala dinner, or even a virtual event, findavenue.ie is your one-stop shop for all.
Head over to findavenue.ie to see how they can help you with your next event.
Thanks again to this week's sponsor for the Tom and Jerry Show, findavenue.ie.
Spoiler alert, everybody, but we managed to find time on a bank holiday Monday to record another episode of the Tom and Jerry Show for the fine people listening to this show right this second.
I know, yeah, and I feel unbelievably smug and good about myself right now because not only is it bank holiday Monday and we're here providing this kind of quality for people, I just saved a life, Ger. I just saved
You
a
saved
life.
a life, Tom.
Literally seconds before.
How are you doing? Welcome along, everybody, to the Tom and Jerry Show. I'm Jerry McBride. He's Tom O'Mahony. What life did you just save, sir?
It was a fly. But here's the irony of it. I only saved the bastard because I got caught on the door in a web that is there this long time, and it was buzzing so loud you'd hear it on the mic. It was, I don't know what sort of the exhaust or the catalytic converter or something was broken on that fella. He was the loudest fly.
Right, yeah.
But as soon as I threw him out the door, I was like, go on, fly now. The cat was outside the door and ate it. So I did my best.
Well,
I did my best in that moment.
You
Jerry.
did your absolute level best, Tom. Someone was praying for that fly, but he just didn't have the sense to. He didn't have self-preservation. You know what I'm saying?
To be fair, a cat would be the not top of his list of things to avoid. Do you know what I mean? He's literally called a fly. Like they fly. Do you know what I mean? He's top of the food. You know, he's way above worrying about cats. But to be fair, the cat's an opportunistic bastard, and it was like, hey, something might come out that door sometime.
Tom, it's the cat's bank holiday as well, like, you know.
I know. I need you to do something for me, and this is very serious. When we wrap up this podcast,
if I can, I will.
Can you remind me to take out the bins? It's bank holiday Tuesday.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. No, I know. This is why I asked you. And also, I need you to feel sorry for me and admire me because one of my favorite tools attacked me at the weekend. I don't know if you can see that.
All right, yeah, no. Send me a picture of that time. I want to tweet it. That's a manky looking finger, all right.
Yeah, I bursted with and I was only talking to somebody the other day. We're like, what is your go-to? Would come to a desert island with your tool? And that's probably a club hammer, like, because it's a lump hammer with a longer handle. And what bit me? Testing my love for that. You know, to be fair, it was my own stupidity. I looked away while the alpha asked me a question, and crack! I hit it so hard, Jerry, it didn't even bleed. It just split like a sofa. It split across the top like a sofa. And I wish I videoed the homemade remedy that the O'Mahanys have for alleviating pressure on a bulgy finger.
Oh, just like wrap it in fiberglass?
No, we took, the mother took a needle into the gas hob, reddened it.
Nice.
And yeah, and went burrowing like something out of that movie Armageddon. Only, you know, when rather than into a meteor, she drilled into my fingernail. And yeah, we had a lovely, it was a weird combination of being grossed out by my own hand, but the relief of pressure being left off. This is grossing out our listeners, but to be fair, they're most likely the kind of people who are into this stuff. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Look, Tom, we may as well get it all done while you have a gross finger because you smacked it with an implement there. I have a gross toe.
Go on.
Because I went out for, I went out for a big run. And you know the way they say, like, wear comfortable shoes and all that kind of crack.
I don't know. Did they say that? It's okay.
Nonsense. Yeah, pass no remarks. But how are you going to harden up your toes if you do that? So I got like a big sort of blood blister kind of welt on one of my toes.
Which one?
And it's super gross. We my
Your
index toe, if you want to call
That's
it.
what I was going to call it. Your index toe. Yeah, yeah. Your index
Yeah.
toe on the top,
So,
the bottom, the sides. Where did it happen? On the knuckle?
oh,
Up.
Tom, all over that some bitch.
Oh, it's just take it off. Basically, just get them nipped
Oh
up
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
pliers
It's
and just take the thing
necrosis of the
off.
toe. It's netosis. And I'm doing what anybody would do in a
Lovely, lovely.
I want to dime every time someone says it. I'm doing what anybody would say in a situation like this, Tom. I'm chasing the children around the house with it.
Of course you are. Oh, listen. And I was trying to gross my letter out with my burst finger, and unfortunately, he thinks it's the gassiest thing he's ever seen. He
Oh well, like there's like it's one thing to have kids that lean into it, but my kids get like super freaked out. So and I made up a song as well. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, 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 yeah. This is the toe
It's
song.
yeah, it's to the tune of like "See My Vest" from The Simpsons.
See, oh, see my vest. For, you mean from Beauty and the Beast?
Well, yeah, I mean
Come,
like strictly
I'm sorry to
speaking,
get
yeah.
pedantic on the whole thing, like, but yeah, okay,
There
okay.
you go. I forgot you had skin in the game here. Um, Yeah, so it goes, see my toe, it's so gross. Every day more it grows, full of blood and full of pus. What a joy for all of us. And then I fucking chase them around the house and
Yeah,
they're screaming and roaring at it,
I
you know?
love it. I
That's what I'm
love it.
bringing to the table parenthood wise, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Showing my kids a, a gross manky toe and
I
singing songs.
genuinely was expecting some sort of flinch or something when I showed it to him yesterday, when it happened yesterday for the first time. And no, there's a darkness in that child, much like there is in me. He grabbed it
Love
and
it.
went and dragged it as close as he could to the end of his nose. He's like, class.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do before we get the show started proper, and we better get it started now very shortly, or these people are going to be wondering what the hell they just tuned into. You send me a picture of your gross finger, and
Hmm.
I'll take a picture of my gross toe, and then we'll have a fight in the comments on social media, and we'll see which is grossest.
We can do a poll, and obviously comments too would
We'll do a
be,
poll. That's right.
and anybody who wants to
Tom's
throw up
finger or Jerry's toe.
anybody who wants to throw up their gross body part, within reason. Although at the same time, I want to
Yeah, I
see
mean,
it.
what have you hit with a hammer lately?
But at the same time, I want to see it. If it is, I don't care any body part. I want to see it. I'm sure X or whatever we're on nowadays will be okay with it. I just want to
Oh, you
see
put
busted.
whatever you want on X.
And
Yeah. Let me
none of
tell you
this.
for a man. Let me tell you for a man that browses Twitter on the train and opens his replies and sees some of the replies that are there. On a train beside an old lady and she peers over and what I'm looking at. I just feel like I'm turning around like, I didn't Google that. I didn't Google that. That just popped up on my phone.
Why? How?
A young
It's
lady in a state of undress
okay.
where you
Somebody,
can
two
see
people
what she had
banging.
for our breakfast.
Yeah, I wondered about that because when Twitter all changed one day, don't ever. On the trending one day, it said Dublin Airport. I went, oh, what are they up to there? Thinking it was some sort of protest. Top, top one was some dude in the
Oh
bathroom
yeah.
somewhere in the toilet going, hey, who wants a piece of this? I'm in Dublin Airport terminal, whatever. And it
Yeah.
was in the
That's it.
middle of the day. I'm like, okay, this is an all out whatever. Okay, fair enough. All right.
I'm gonna tell you, Tom, it's a good day they're only naked. I'll tell you that. Very welcome along to the Tom and Jerry show, where every week me and this fine young gentleman over here um count up if we have 20 fingers and 20 toes between us. Not this week, apparently.
No, not
Counts
all.
down to
Not
19 apiece.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, look, it
But
is what it is, and we're as Bear Grylls would say, we don't want to go through life just coming and through unscathed. You want to end up with a bunch of scars and scrapes that show your story
we're
of
not spectators.
fun. Yeah, exactly. We're not spectators.
But we did spectate on the week this week, and we have a couple of stories to talk to you about. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the first segment of the show, which, as you all know, takes place taking a look at the big news from the week. Tom, this was the brouhaha, the shenanigans. This was the scuttlebutt. This was the weekly what have you.
This is a very complicated case, Mod. A lot of ins, a lot of outs, a lot of what have yous, and a lot of strands to keep in my head, man.
We could have done this last week because it's been
We
Jesus.
could have no, but we saved it for this week. If you find folks are listening to this on Thursday when it drops, and Tom, one can only assume people wait for this thing to drop. Like they wait for Big Ben to ring in the new year. Like it's literally not in their podcast feeds and then it is, and then they listen to it straight away. That's what I tell myself. If you're listening to this on Thursday, that means you have not gone to the polls just yet. Because
Tomorrow.
Ireland is, yes, it's tomorrow. It's landing on Thursday.
It is landing on Thursday. It definitely is landing on Thursday. We land on Thursdays.
Yeah. Sorry,
And,
I had to double check myself there.
Yeah, no,
I had to
I
double
know.
check myself.
You
I
were
had
li-
to do
you
a quick
looked at
Google
me
and
and
see
I'm
when
like,
we're going to the polls.
what?
Yeah, we're going to the polls the next day. We're going to Friday.
We're on bank holiday brain, unfortunately. We told you we're recording
Yeah.
this on a Monday, and we're going, what? There's 3 days. How does time work, Jerry? Well,
I had to just double check it.
I
Now,
threw
if you have fallen asleep and not listened to the Tom and Jerry show, and you save it for a Saturday when you're doing your yard work, or you save it for Sunday when you're in mass or whatever it is, then you've already gone to the polls and you probably know the results of the election. But we're going to try and straddle that now, Tom. We're good. Yeah, the election. That's the weekly. What have you?
Exactly, the election. It's election. I'm assuming there's elections going on. They all tend to happen a lot of the time around the same time in a lot of Western countries, whatever. But we're having our general election and local elections at the minute.
Yeah, no, it's not the general election. The
No,
general
it's not.
election is
Sorry,
electing the government. Yeah,
it's the.
Hey, folks, watch us fucking navigate this one
Oh,
here.
we need to preface. By the way, we need to preface this. Anybody who's been listening to us for a long time will not be in any way surprised that we're in no way experts on anything,
Pretty much
especially
anything,
this.
lads.
To be fair, the only way myself and Jerry can approach this is in the lower brow, lower percentile notion of people. We're the what they call it the everyman, but in all fairness, it's the Cro-Magnon humanoid is who we're just talking on your behalf because we are more than open to be corrected on everything that we're about to say next in the way of our
I'll correct you
notion.
right now. It's the local and European elections,
There you
not the
go.
general elections. We'll take a swing at them now in a little while. The UK is having their general elections. Yeah, more on that in a later episode, maybe, or maybe not. But the local elections are up, and we're not gonna, Tom, we're not a learning podcast, and we're certainly not a political podcast. So we're not gonna tell you who we think you should vote for, who we are going to vote for, what policies you think may affect you. We're just going to take a look at the spectacle of elections, and more to the point, the spectacle of canvassing, Tom.
It's unreal. Unbelievable. Like when I've only now started to pay attention because I'm back in a local place now and I'm kind of going, oh yeah, wow. And you have people who will drive you around to help you go door to door to people's houses. So if canvassing, it's nothing to do with like the stuff that you paint on and put in a frame eventually. It's you're going around to people's houses. Although that would be amazing if every house you turned up to, you were like one of those lads on holidays who can paint a picture of you really quickly and just hand it to you. I don't know, if somebody turned up to my door and did like a really quick caricature there, they'd be heading towards my number one. I'm just saying.
It's amazing, Tom. We're going to come at this from two different ways because you are very much, how will I put this without insulting anybody? Well, it wouldn't be an insult to you. You're very rural. You're in a very rural area, right?
I'm very rural area now. Yeah.
And I'm in suburban Dublin, so I reckon we can like cover off a lot of bases. The canvassing that comes in here, like the door-to-door canvassing that comes in here, you can see them coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can see them coming a mile away.
Right.
You know what you can as you drive into the estate at the end of a hard day working, a hard day at the coal mine, and you see a couple of guys coming down the way, and you know, right, okay, I can count up and know that they're going to be at my house in about an hour's time. So
right.
I either need to take the dog for a walk, or I need to, when the doorbell goes, I know who that is. And it's not just, you know, we're battle hardened with this. We've got the 1,000 yards there. We've been in the bush because you see boys coming around advertising for broadband or electricity, or are you happy with your gas provider, or all this kind of crack. So you can kind of see them in the estate, and you know, all right, when the door goes, that's not a visitor. That's not someone in an emergency.
Yeah.
So either answer it and tell them thank you, but no thank you, or tell them that you're all right, you have me vote, quit wasting your time going up the road. You have a harder battle up the road. Or just don't answer it. Be ignorant if you're feeling like being ignorant. I don't like to be ignorant, but like there's a fine line between not answering the door and answering the door and telling someone to go away.
Yeah. Well, we're not too bad here because it's laid out much differently. I'd say it's much more difficult here because you just don't have the swathe of houses. You have a road, you have any amount of people that may or may not be on it. You got to get all your timing right because lads will be milking cows. The likes of myself, you know, you can kind of see them coming down the driveway. You've got a bit of distance. Do you know what I mean? So you can you can
But Tom,
stuff.
you're like you're like a scene in a movie where there's like a handoff being made in the desert with the cartel, and you just see a car driving up the road. It's like, okay, this must be him now, and it's kicking up a cloud of dust on the way to you, and you have like 6 minutes to get all your guns in a row.
Yeah, yeah. Well, normally I can see him straight. You can get a decent picture of who or what party is coming up the road through your sniper rifle. It's a pretty good, you know. But what I'm saying is, there's a crunch of the stones coming through the gate, and the dog will let you know. And then you know
Yes.
you've got about with our place, you've got about I would say about 12 seconds. No, probably about 8 to 10 seconds, which could give you the Christ. And you can just go out the back and do something. Now, a right cheeky whore might arrive around the side, go, hiya, with the pamphlet, because that is allowed in the country, as you know, if you know the place or whatever. There is an unspoken rule where you can walk around and walk in the back door. I don't know
Yeah,
what it is.
yes.
Yeah, I don't know where that emerged
But
from.
lad, like the way you just described it, Tom, there's like a lad lying in a ghillie suit in the backfield.
That's how I spend most Sundays. Yeah. Um,
No, politicians just creeping up on you like they're creeping up on a German pillbox.
but to be fair, it's you got to give them their due around here. It's not an easy task. Like you can blanket canvas an area like you might have a half mile half mile between houses in certain parts of the road here, and you're going, Jesus
I mean
Christ, I
that's
really need
that's
to gotta be charming. I got better be charming here. And the thing is, every one of them. You actually know them. Do you know what I mean?
right.
So there's very
The way we
few
get it in here,
confusing, or there'll be very little confusion as to who's showing up. You know what I mean?
right. He'd have his votes counted before he gets to the polls. In here, like if a politician lands in, um, and we would get. I'm not going to be smart here, Tom, but we get a couple of famous faces around here. Like I've been
Oh,
canvassed by an actual Taoiseach. You know what I mean? Like
oh, right. Do they
yeah,
actually
like
get out and about?
yeah.
Do they?
One of our former Tishi canvassed me down at the train station a couple of mornings. Yeah,
Wow, that sounds
yeah.
kind. Yeah, it's to be to. I've never heard it described as he canvassed me. It just
He
sounds like
canvassed me. Yeah, he canvassed me all over the
canvassed me.
place,
I
Tom.
had to light a cigarette afterwards. It was amazing. He blew my hair backwards. It was unbelievable. So
But
it.
most of them that land in here, they land in with like a team. You can see like a team of like
Oh
20
yeah.
will descend upon the place. Yeah,
Oh
yeah, oh yeah.
Jesus.
And they'll all sort of scatter and disperse. And I'm like, if you're
Like
gonna knock on my door, I want you to be the person, the man or woman who is running for election. If a door opens and it's one of the lackeys and it's like, oh, I'm
oh
just in here
no.
canvassing with so and so, and we just wanted to, and I'm like, yeah. And here's the thing, Tom. I know a lot of people are like, and I had them at the door and I told them this, that, and the other. And I'm like, no, you didn't. Okay, stop talking shite. No, you
Yeah.
didn't. You
Yeah.
absolutely did not. And then I told them this, that, and I warned them that. No, you didn't. You are talking shite. If I get a politician to the door and I have no intention of voting for them, Tom, I've come up with a wonderful way of telling them that.
Go on.
We don't vote for that. We don't vote for that party in this house. Simple as that.
Oh. Oh.
Sorry, we don't vote. We don't vote for that party in this house, and that's it.
Oh.
And then they, 9 times out of 10, they'll turn and go back. I'm waiting for the one that asks me why.
Yeah,
Then they
Jesus.
will
Yeah,
get a
you get
list.
into it then.
But it's just nice and polite. Not going to stand here roaring and shouting at the door over anything. But we don't vote that way in this house. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
As we were talking off air about, and you were describing it. It's nearly like being on date, because in one way I do feel from, because okay, you've chosen the job or whatever, but Jesus Christ, it's a tough gig, like to go up and actually have to be
It's a
charming
tough.
on the
It's a
day.
tough gig. But
But
we know this, Tom. We know this a little bit.
a little
We
bit,
know this a lot between the two of us. Because
yeah,
as in our careers as stand-up comedians, yours ongoing, mine lapsed. We have had to canvas people, for want of a better word, to get them into a gig.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we've
yeah.
had to flyer people on the street, and that's a tough job.
It's where it actually emerged, really, first and foremost, and it still continues to this day, on a weekly basis, is in New York first, and it's known as barking. And you ain't getting your spot, and it might be a 2 a.m. spot in the cellar or something like that,
Right.
it might be to nothing but other open spot comedians, but you will have
Yeah.
barked for about 5, 6 hours, i.e., flying on the corner to people, to
Yes.
passers-by, and all the rest of it. And that's like that's
That's rough.
that's with no purpose of actually getting people in. Really, you're just doing your due time to get your stage time. But transfer that to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, where you
Which
have,
I have flyered at. You've done a lot more than me.
yeah, and it's you have to be. There's so many different ways to be in. You like your flyer can say so much, you can say so much. The Irish thing can sell quite well, all right, but then all of a sudden you can over egg the pudding a small bit too. You don't want to go too diddly die, so you do have to stay between the fences, and all you have is a few seconds with these people, and then you'll get the odd out one, nearly much like you're talking about at the door, going, so tell me why I should, because there's people from England will come up and
Yeah.
visit, and they go, so tell me why I should go in. And we're like, Jesus Christ, I don't know.
Oh, Christ.
I said it was comedy, so it's comedy.
It's comedy. It's
It's
funny. I'm
comedy.
funny.
What more? And but you find yourself then having to come up with, so what's your opinion on? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh,
Oh, geez.
Christ.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Have
Christ.
you got any jokes about the Falklands? Well, no, but I'll make one up. Go on, get in.
Yeah. So there is an element of, I feel for these politicians, especially if you're, like you said, there's one of their lackeys, their minions who goes to the door. That's nearly worse because you got no concrete in your pockets. There's nothing. You're kind of going, can you come vote for my guy? Because can you vote
Yeah,
for,
I
like,
mean, ask me anything about him. It's another aspect of it, Tom, of the election year. And look how wonderful we're having this conversation without even mentioning any actual politics. Again, not
oh,
what
I
we do
don't
on the
care
show.
about politics. I can't
Yeah,
care. I
like
can't.
it's
Leave that to
if
people who want to.
if you're turning to us for political advice now, you're in trouble.
Oh,
The actual election posters that go up, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see them because they went up around here like a Formula One pit stop, not the cool lift the cockpit out Formula One pit stop that I wanted,
mm.
just the regular Formula One pit stop. Because
Your one would have suggested they all take the poles home, flip on the posters, and bring them back again. That's what the
oh,
synopsis
they
of
land with a
your.
pole that has posters on it already in the Stonkadan, yeah. Which I gotta tell you, some of them might actually do. There are only so many poles and posts and lampposts and pylons and whatnot in the Dublin 15 area. So there's only so much real estate to put this on. So when there's like a go date. I think it's like 20 days before the election date, and boys trap out like at the stroke of midnight to put up election posters on the day that they are allowed to go up. Because if you don't get your election poster on a telegraph pole, it'll be gone by morning. Someone else will have put their poster
Oh,
up.
it's the very same as Edinburgh. If you don't get there early enough, like I've had to get there 2 days before my show to go,
Right.
because I'm at nothing if you put it up the day of your show.
Oh, you're wasting time.
You're wasting it, and plus you won't get the spot. And now there's an unspoken rule not to cover other people's spots, but at the same time, if you don't get, like, I remember Paul Curry, he's a Belfast comedian, brilliant.
Yeah, it's Paul.
Yeah, he was in design. I think he studied design. He knows sight lines down the street. Like, he knows that city of Edinburgh very. He got a great color one year. It was like this goldy mustard, and you could literally see it in. It was like, as they say, a diamond shining in a goat's ass. You could, because there'd be 1,000 posters up on a wall down the end of the Royal Mile. But his one, this color, you would hit you from, and you'd walk up then, and it made perfect sense. And it was the one that would draw you to it.
And that's if you're going out to go for a show and you're looking at 100 posters and one even catches your eye slightly more than the rest, you're off to an advantage. But the guys here, the guys and ladies here of the political sphere in Dublin and everywhere, like, there's only so much information that they can put on a poster. And I always marveled at like how little they say on the poster. It really is, here's my face, here's my name, here's the party I'm affiliated with, or the fact that I'm an independent, and the word vote. And that's it. Like, that'll do you. Vote number one. That's it. Some other lads get a little bit clever with it, and they'll put like a list of their mandate or a list of their voting, their political preferences and all this kind of crack. And I'm like, you're not going to see that, pal. That just looks like a mess. To be fair, that looks like a mess. If you're making a poster, you just want facial recognition. The place where you put your policies is not on a poster where people are driving past it at 40 kilometers an hour.
I saw one, and I don't know if it's this from this election or another one, and I don't know where it was, but it popped up on this guy, and he had his slogan. Some people put a slogan. They'd put one. It'd be like, vote McBride for great
Right.
sausages, or you know what I mean, whatever. And actually, McBride sausages actually would be a great brand. It sounds good, doesn't it? McBride sausages. I just like the
Yeah.
idea of it.
Yeah.
But this chap had the most. I mean, it was just incredible. He had the phrase "make crime illegal."
Yeah. I've seen those. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
know?
And like I know what. Look,
I'm not dissing the guy.
there's
I know
there's
what he
a
was trying to say, but Jesus, lad, we get
there's
it.
a lot of these things that like you know what they're driving at when you hear a second sentence explaining the first. But when you only put that first sentence on a poster, I've seen a couple. How would I like, okay, so it's not enough information. You know what I mean? So you'll be
Yeah.
driving along and you'll see a poster and it just says "No homes!" exclamation mark. And I'm like, what are you mad about here? You're no home. There are no homes for people that want to buy them. You don't want to give homes to people that want them. It's just no homes.
Or
What
I
are you?
saw I saw one day, and he was a big block of a man. He filled up the whole poster square, like, and his slogan was "Big on you." Like, I bet, yeah, I
Yeah.
bet, yeah.
What are you?
Jesus.
You're beyond me. Exactly. What are you doing? You holding me down for the pin here? Like, what's going on?
Some
So,
of
so, so, while as part of me kind of says it's pointless to just blanket an area with your face and your party and hope for the best, appreciate you got a battle to fight, and those that try to put a little litany of things that they want acted upon, that just looks like a mess. And by the
tell
time
me
you drive by,
this.
I was like, who's that guy again?
Y-
What's I read three things and I kind of like the sound of them, but yeah, I'm gone now. I got a
Tell
green
me,
light and I'm gone.
tell me this. You understand what it is for people to. You are self-aware enough, and you've been on posters. You are. What would you want to project? What would be your poster? Like, would you do the stocks, look straight down the lens? Would you have nice lighting? Would you have a suit? Do you know what I mean? What would be your thing? Like, maybe.
The suit one is an interesting one, Tom. There's a lad that
Yeah.
stands out around here. There's a lad that stands out around here because he's the one lad that's not wearing a suit, and I appreciate that.
Mm,
Okay, but I wouldn't have just wore a hoodie.
yeah.
Like he's wearing like a zip up like a half fleece. Sorry, a fleece with a half zip on it. You know the ones
Yeah.
that you might
Yeah.
wear, like you might wear to a christening.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 So it's not for hiking, but at the same time, it's a jumper. If there's a bit of a chill, you'd
It's
have it
just
in the
like a
car.
casual Sunday jumper.
Right.
If you went for a carvery dinner, you'd wear it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not one that you'd go running in. And and I'm like, okay, I appreciate you want to look like you're just one of the people, and you're not some dude in a suit because there's 50 dudes in a suit and 50 ladies wearing blazers and whatnot. What's a blazer for a lady, by the way, Tom? That's just a is it a
What?
blazer?
A blazer?
Yeah, if a
Same.
lady's wearing a blazer, like what's that?
Same blazer. A blaze.
It's a blazer.
I don't know. I bet.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments what the hell those things are. Um, so appreciate that if you just want to be wearing like a polo shirt or some such. All right, okay, it's a risky game, but fair enough.
What are you gonna
I
wear,
would,
Jer?
I would, I would.
What are you gonna wear?
What would I wear?
Yeah.
I'd wear a shirt. I'd wear a shirt and a tie, but no jacket.
Oh. Would you? Okay.
Yeah,
Would you have the sleeves rolled up, like arms folded, like this
no,
man's? No.
no,
Like the editor
no,
of
no.
the Daily
I'd be giving
Planet.
it. This sort of like this sort of quarter turn kind of thing.
Would you give the quarter turn? I
I'll
often
give the
think.
quarter turn. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be like, how are you keeping there? Yeah,
Okay. I'm not. We're not going to
some
get into font.
insufferable Tom.
We're not going to get into font or anything like that. But
We're not going to get into font size, but it'd be vote Jerry McBride, independent almost certainly because no party'd have me. Uh,
no.
I wouldn't join any political party that'd have me as a member, Tom. Um, and it would be vote Jerry McBride, and I might try to do something different with it. I might try and give him like a hey,
I
give him
like
the
that.
double guns,
Double
the
guns.
double wings, like poo
I'd
poo,
be.
vote Jerry McBride.
I'm half. No, I'm not into the idea of communism. Um, but I liked. But some of their propaganda was amazing. Like, they had some great artwork. Like,
Yes,
do you know? It was always a thing to look off. You'd look off. I'm guessing you're looking east. I don't know what to look at. Although in all Eastern European passports, the reason why they look off to the side is because their ear your ear is like a fingerprint. Everybody's ears and they've had technology for years that will actually recognize your ear, and
They've got
it's
ear recognition technology in
ear
Eastern
recognition.
Europe.
Oh God, yeah, forever. But now I do think I was a Polish fellow told me this, and I says, "Are you looking to? What are you looking to?" And he was like, "Oh no, it's to show ear because ear is individual. It is very much it's like fingerprint. It so you could maybe look like Stanislav down the road, but your ear is absolutely different." So I went along with it. It may be lies, but I like the idea of the. No, no, I'm not gonna. I'm doing this tune so people understand, right? How I'm looking for the audio listeners. Do you know, like Rocky Four,
I was
when
going to say it's very Rocky Four, yeah, not
yeah,
training montage, but it's like, yeah, I can picture
you're looking off to the
nuclear missiles trundling past the
yes.
Kremlin.
I like the artwork of that. Now it'd probably scare and it would get no votes whatsoever. But
Well, it'll
I
be
think
given big communism vibes, Tom, I gotta tell you.
it would, unfortunately. I wish it didn't, but I just really liked the artwork of it. It was just style, and I think it would stand out because I drove around. I was coming back from Killarney a couple of weeks ago, and it was the night they were allowed to start doing it. Drove into Killarney,
Yeah,
no posters. Drove around a roundabout, Jar, and to the love of Jesus, there must have been 60 different individuals, and some had doubled up. They put a few, so they might catch you at say
yeah.
9 o'clock on the roundabout or 2 o'clock on the roundabout, and you're going, I don't. She can't. You're just a blur going by, and all the way around this roundabout on a. For the love of God, they had, and just like you said, go. I drive into Killarney, no posters. Drive out of Killarney, full of posters. The
loaded.
cable tie, the cable tie. People are talking about the posters. I was going, maybe I should, myself and Jerry should get into the poster printing game. Nah,
Oh no,
we need to get into the cable tie game
absolutely.
because there's an old phrase, don't be the miner, be the guy selling the shovels at the door of it.
Yes.
Do you know?
And Tom, I have one question for you,
Go on,
Comrade O'Mahony.
come on, come around.
All right. One question. I'm gonna ask you what you're going to be wearing around like that, but I need to know. In this instance, are you keeping the mustache?
I think I gotta. I think I gotta. I mean, I live by the sword, die by the sword, that kind of way. I may trim it up, but I want to show that I'm okay, maybe not a complete lunatic, which I am, and maybe the
Right.
comedic sense should go. Like Zelensky, like him or love him, he's weird, and he used to play the piano with his flute, but he went on to become a politician, i.e., became the president of a country. But he definitely
Yes.
stopped playing. No, I'm not suggesting I've ever played the piano with my flute on stage, but
No.
I think I would take the bottom half off the mustache
For appearance's sake.
for appearance's sake. But I think a couple of weeks into office and it's coming back full tilt. I think that would be the only
Then
thing I would
you
slide
know,
back on in my policies. That's the only thing. Now my policies would stand for next to nothing, bar more, probably more stuff for dogs. I think would be my thing. I think that's where I'd probably start and end my entire campaign. Most
animal-based policies.
well, I tell you now, I saw a petrol station up the road from us here that has now installed a dog washing facility, and I thought, well, I
I
don't,
know the type. Yes.
I don't
My
need
dog
to.
hates them.
I haven't tried our one out. No doubt she will hate it,
Yeah.
but at the same time, strapping her to the bonnet and taking her through the old fashioned way needed to go. And I, look, all I'm saying is, Jared, I'm not a very deep person when it comes to thinking about it, politics, and my politics would start and end with most likely the dog. That would be it, really.
Greater dog washing facilities and
Yeah, that's it. Nothing else. That's it. I don't know what
and by and
else.
large communism. I
Yeah,
will say, Tom, if you were to shave up the mustache and get rid of the droopier bits there, I don't know what the technical term for them is. If you were to just keep a mustache, you would absolutely look like a comedian who had plenty of jokes about the Falklands.
I suppose. Well, you have that kind of squaddy look, like just all of a sudden just
Absolutely.
take it off from here
Yeah.
from here.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't be
Oh
called
God, I do. Yeah, I
ballerinas
see
either.
myself now. Yeah. Yeah. To be fair, you're right, Jer. You're right. But if I just put my hand here and just look off and look up a little, doesn't it does that? I don't know what it tells you. It tells you
No,
that
Tom, yeah, no, you absolutely look like you're trapped behind the Iron Curtain. Like, don't get me
an
wrong.
iron curtain with some clean
Um,
dogs. That's
I'll tell you one thing, Tom. I'm gonna tell you one thing, right? I'm tell you one thing, and then we rock and roll with this show because we might keep some election stuff for next week because God knows there'll be a week's worth of counting on this goddamn thing.
Ah,
Do you know what I think I would do
go on.
if I was printing posters, right? And I'm surprised nobody's done this. All right.
Sparkles.
So say you have to print. No, no, no. Well, that is a good idea too. So you print up 1,000 posters, okay? And like you say, you hang them on every lamppost roundabout, and they're all the same, and everybody's driving along, and it's the same goddamn thing over and over and over again. Like I'd have one in every 200, where I was like, "Ugh."
just just fucking gurning down the.
Yeah. So like you're driving down the road, it's like dun 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 dun, 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 dun. Or even just like giving the fingers like fuck you.
Well,
Kind of a thing. I was like,
listen, you
just wait a second. I just saw that poster. That poster, did he have his fingers up on that? I was like,
man,
nah,
you
you
have
must be joking.
opened
Look,
up.
there's the same poster there, and he hasn't got it.
You have opened up a whole Pandora's box of having crack with your posters. You could print them all the same, but just put googly eyes on some of them.
Just
The
put
odd one.
just put googly eyes or like just
Fuzzy
something
eyebrows.
weird with
Actually,
it.
just fuzzy eyebrows on some of the other ones. Just to spruce them up a bit, so people
You
double look and
could
go, "What?
you
What?"
you could do a Tom where you like shave up your mustache a bit at a time.
Do you know? Do you remember when you
So
they were big?
the further out of Tipperary you drive, the less mustache you get, more and more clean shaven.
Do you remember when years ago they were in everything? You get them in Frosties, the whole lot, and they were like holograms. They're not around so much
Yes.
anymore. You tilt them in different directions, you know, and
Yeah, oh,
like
yeah, no, 9/11 did away with them. Parents now. Fucking ruin the hologram industry so good.
ruined the hologram industry. It, but why not bring them back?
Stick holograms on it.
No, you be like spend way less, put way less posters up, and save your money for a handful of full A0 holograms of you watching people drive down the street. Do you know what I mean? So every direction you look at, Tom or Jerry are looking after you, like looking at you as you
It's just,
pass.
it's just, it's just Tom like the painting in Ghostbusters too. It's like
That's exactly
Tom
it.
O'Mahony, you are the buzzing of flies to him.
I think I'm onto a winner.
I think you're onto a winner. I'd vote for that. I'd vote for that. All right, come here. That's the election. We might be back with you with more election stuff next week because, like we said, we have to count these votes and all that kind of crack. But for now, we're going to move on with the show. What do you think,
Why
Tom?
not?
Because we've talked about politicians. There's one on every lamppost around you. Throw a stone out the window. While we were recording here, Tom, you might have seen me look at my phone because the doorbell went, and I was a politician canvassing outside
Oh
the house
man,
right now.
man,
They could
that's
have been on
such.
the podcast.
Oh Jesus, what an amazing opportunity! We just missed an amazing opportunity. But your studio setup is upstairs. But it would have been great if you could have opened the window and see his policies and put the microphone out and go, "Oh, while we have you."
You, sir, what day is it today? So that's those lads, right? That's
Yeah,
those lads. We get plenty of those lads. There's going to be plenty of those lads. But every week, Tom, every week there's a lad, and it's not just he doesn't fall into the realm of those lads. He becomes known as this
this
lad.
lad,
Now there's that guy.
this lad. I read this twice because I wasn't sure
Yes.
what I was reading. Because you sent it to me. Oh, when you sent it to me last night, and you sent it to me through Twitter, which is a perfect place to
Yes.
send it. And I had also, for the first time in maybe 5 or 6 weeks, had a couple of beers at home. So I was I was mildly in a lovely place of just warmed up inebriation, where the pain in my finger had gone, and
These
you'd
were
sent it to
medicinal
me,
beers.
and I was just reading it. I went, "This is a great story. Like, this is a real test." Do you remember? Like, I don't know if you ever seen Stone Cold Steve Austin being challenged on can you make anything sound like a promo, and he can literally make a fly walking across the desk a 5 minute promo. And this is the same story. You made this like it's a brilliant story, but no story at
Tell them the
all.
story, Tom. Tell them what this lad did. Tell
So
them who this lad is and what the hell he's up to.
this chap, he's a doctor. He's in the UK. I think
Yes.
he's from the north of England, I think. But he went out into his backyard. There was chasing off a couple of, were they pigeons or seagulls? I think he was chasing off. And
He had bad mannered birds there, yes.
lo and behold, out in the middle of his lawn, randomly, all by itself, was a goldfish just lying in his lawn,
Yes.
just lying there, flapping around in his lawn, and it's still alive. So he ran and got a freezer tray, and put it in, tucked it in,
Yes.
and he started flapping around, delighted with himself. Now, the whole thing about this story is like, well, what? This sounds like something the lads would talk about at the beginning. What has made this brilliant is the fact that it's gotten over 16 million interactions on Twitter because he just went, that gas.
This is big news.
Big news.
This is big
Proper
news.
big
This chap is
news.
called Ben Beska. That's his name, Ben Beska, which
He's
is
from
the most
He's from
Star
Newcastle.
Wars name I have
He's
ever heard in my life.
It is, isn't it? He's
Yes,
from
indeed.
Newcastle, which is always going to be hilarious when you have your doctor is from
I don't take
Newcastle.
the effort. I don't take the effort to divvy up tans. He's a UK man. I don't. It's all the UK to me, Tom. But yeah, no, he walks out and there's
We went extremely Republican there for a minute. It was like, I can't. I don't know what to tell you, Tom.
yeah,
It's just, whatever. They're over there.
one's the same as the other to me.
Sasnach.
Yeah. But like what gets me is like he went number one. He went out and he found this goldfish, but like the way you tell it, the goldfish was flapping around like, oh help, help, help! I'm flapping around. The goldfish was stationary for my
was
reading
it?
of
Oh, right,
looked,
right.
Yeah, it looked like a dead fish, as well. It might be in the middle of his garden. And he took it in, and it seemed to me like just out of curiosity, he put it in water. And
Right.
then the thing started swimming around the place like, oh, holy, oh, look at this fella's not dead.
Well, I got excited with first. I was reading the story, and he's a cardiologist. I went, he definitely gave it mouth to mouth and probably did a CPR
Or a
on
little
it as
gill
well.
to gill resuscitation, yeah. Mouth to gill, if you will.
Yeah,
See,
so he
my toe.
took.
So, but like, here's the thing, and the man did his absolute best. This, you know, do what you want in this life, but if anything nice happens to you, don't put it on the internet, all right? Because he done his best, and he went in. He got the drawer of the fridge, the drawer of the freezer, like
Yeah.
the and he filled that with water and put the goldfish in it. Which I gotta tell you, Tom, straight away I was like, that's exactly what I would have done.
Do you know what
Like
that
if
is?
I was to look for like a receptacle to put a fish into, that's what I would have done.
100%, and that's what makes the story for me really real because
Yeah,
it'd be that
and,
or
and like
an old pecan or something because if that had turned up in a TV show or a movie, they would have a tank or they would have a thing. But the
right,
drawer out of the freezer, perfect.
just
That's
you know,
exactly what
and
you
like you
fuck
know,
it. Well,
you
let's throw
could
it
have
in
put it
there.
in a pint. You'd fill a pint glass quicker, you know, a bowl, anything at all. But no, there's just like, yeah, that's exactly what I would have done. And then as the fish became alive, he was like, well, I can't leave it in the freezer drawer. So he went out, he just like went down to the 99p shop down the road, went down to the Lidl or wherever it was, and got like, have you anything that even looks like a fish tank? And they were like, well, we've got this one here for like £9 or whatever, would be grand, do rightly. Got it back up and put the fish in it and told the story on the internet. And then straight away, you have people going like, you shouldn't keep a fish in a tank like that.
I know, of course.
Straight away. He's like,
Straight away.
this fish is falling out of a goddamn airplane and I'm doing my level best for it. And I'm sorry that I went to my local deals, my local Mr. Price, and it didn't have specific aquarium equipment of a Sunday.
Yeah. Well, this is the problem. Like he put it on the internet. Now
within the budget that I had set aside for saving fish this week.
There's still the mystery. The mystery has not been solved. Like people went, oh, a bird dropped it, or which is most likely, or somebody in a temper caught it and fired it over his fence from their own house or something. I don't know. But he reckons there's no ponds nearby. And the size of this thing too, because I don't know if you've ever seen what happens to goldfish when they get into anything bigger than a goldfish tank. They, in matter of weeks, will quadruple in size. They turn into carp.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They go massive. No time at all. And so it's I think, I don't know, would a bird have, like, how did the bird feck it from anywhere? I genuinely think somebody got
I'm going to go with bird, Tom, because to me a bird dropping it makes more sense to me than someone coming down and being like, I told you, if I told you once, I've told you 100 times, goldfish, this is your last warning, and plucking it out of a bowl and firing it.
I wouldn't imagine they were thick with the fish. I'd say somebody got thick with whoever owned the fish and fired it.
Oh,
and
right,
went,
like just get lover or some such.
Do you know a jilted lover? Exactly. Just going, I know how I'll get the better this fella. Now where, like it says he's from Newcastle, but where was it? I'm guessing it's a built up area. Is it an urban area? It doesn't say from what I could read in the article on BBC.
Yeah. Well, I put it like this. He didn't look to have much acreage out the back, so I'm going to say an urban area, all right.
So it
Um,
easily could have been a next door neighbor if he's a terrorist and they just shook it over.
and not for nothing, we want to stress here because in case people, we assume if some familiarity with these stories on occasion, Tom, in case anybody has no idea what we're talking about, this is a goldfish. This isn't like a trout. This is
No,
a like a sorry for using such a stupid phrase, but a domesticated fish. This is like a pet fish.
yeah, like it shits outdoors and everything. It's class. It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You put down litter for it, and yeah. No, but this is like in an aquarium, goldfish,
yeah,
2.5 inches long. It's a goldfish. What do you want me to say?
it's a
And it's in the
goldfish.
back of this man's yard.
You see,
I
it's
my money is on dropped by a bird, but then where would a bird like pluck a goldfish from?
this is
Because they would
it's
be inside, right?
this is why I love this story because it's so much of a non-story. It's a brilliant story. There's but so many,
Yeah.
but this would be a great start to possibly a thriller or horror movie because you're like, this doesn't make any. Never the twain should meet. My back garden
Yeah.
and an alive goldfish. This shouldn't. This is a a rip in the matrix. Fabric of time is going sideways here because this should never happen. And there's
This is some
nobody coming
Stranger Things
forward.
stuff, all right, yeah.
It's
This
now
fish appeared from the upside down.
exactly. It won't change anybody's life. But when you start to fucking peel it back small, but you're like, hold on, this is really bothering me. Like, where? Not that, in fairness, God bless him, he did a great job. He named the fish Alice and everything.
Yes. I
But
thought that was cute.
what, like, why? How? Why? Where? So many questions. And the problem is, it's
Yeah.
only a goldfish. You'll never get anybody to investigate it properly. They just won't. Scotland Yard aren't swimming
No,
around going. The Sweeney aren't kicking in his door going, "Oi, fuck."
and
You know what I mean?
there's of all animals you could ask, it's pointless to ask a goldfish. Yeah. What's he gonna tell you?
Brand new.
No,
Eh,
I live with Ben Beska my whole life.
can I ask you again in 5 seconds? What's your name?
Yeah, I've been here.
Yeah,
If I've been here for longer than 10 minutes, to me, it's I've been here my whole life. I'm gonna tell you one thing though, Tom. And I wish Ben all the best in his future endeavors with his fish. Right?
yeah.
And it's wonderful that he saved the animal. That's great. He started an Instagram page for the fish. This is Alice Beska, and it's the fish, and it's posting as the fish in first person, like, "Oh, I'm loving my new home."
He
All this
didn't.
kind of.
He didn't
And
set it
once
up.
you get into that, Tom, I'm like, take that shit away from me. No,
I
I'm
I
sorry,
thought I
Ben. You
thought it
found a
was.
fish.
I thought it was him. And oh, did he set up an Instagram account? Oh, he did set up an.
Set up.
But
Yeah, no,
but somebody
I
set
find
up.
that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
I
a grip
find
on
all that
yourself.
crack unbearable. I'm glad you found the fish. I'm happy the fish is alive. We're done here, Ben. We're good.
To be
We don't
fair,
need the further adventures of Alice the fish. We're done.
somebody set up one on Twitter as well or X. Not him. They set it up, and it's Alice Pesca. But I know they set it up to be humorous, I guess, because this is people who have loads of time in their hand. And one post is like, such a wild day. Book one of those journey trips and wound up in some northerner's lawn. I would like a refund, please. Okay, mild humor. It's like you've got
Ah,
time on your hands. It's always going to
yeah,
Ger. It's as look. It's a tale as old as time. Anything happens, somebody's got to set up a separate account detailing it, trying to be funny. Same as soon as you put a fish in the tank and go, hey, everybody happy with me putting this fish in the tank? People are like, I think you're fine.
yeah, yeah.
That fish should be, and you're like, oh
I
Jesus.
guess that's just the flavor of crank I am, Tom. Like I'm cranky at people being cranky at him about doing a good thing, but then someone doing like the continuing funny adventures, I'm like, no, okay,
To be
no.
fair,
We're
I
done.
look, there are things you can't. I love that he did put the story up on the internet. And we know about it now, and
Oh
I don't.
yeah.
But like I was talking about using that red hot needle to actually alleviate the pressure on my finger the other day, I was thinking to myself, God, I should have filmed that. I bet not many people have seen it. I've seen it quite a few times in my
Yes,
own time.
indeed.
But at the same time, I put that online. I guarantee you, people are going to go, I think you should find. Oh, God. Right.
Yeah, I think you should take that to a doctor. It's not
Yeah.
sanitary to jam a
No.
hot needle
Yeah.
into your finger.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so I'm glad for that I didn't. Here's my question before we wrap up this one, Jer.
Yeah.
Who was the lad in that? Was it the fish or was it Ben?
Oh yeah, that's a very good question because I thought we were coming in and saying that Ben Beska himself is this lad, but Alice the fish could be this lad, all right. I mean,
I mean, what a stroke of luck. What a stroke
There you
of luck
go.
to have it. If we're going with Alice, I mean, what a week. What a week it's
Yeah,
been, in all
Alice is
fairness.
one day she's just, flying around in the mouth of a gull. The next she's on the internet.
And yeah, huge. They're setting up separate, probably has more followers than you and me combined. Like, this is the annoying thing about it.
All
But
right, well, don't bring it there, Tom. Like, God damn it.
look, we
There
did
you go.
say
Well, that's Alice the fish. We wish her best. And I believe that brings this week's episode to a fin, if you will. Uh what you're gonna get on me for fish puns here now? I think I've been
no,
very reserved
no.
here.
Actually, I
Okay,
no, I like that. I did. I actually like that.
thank you, thank you.
I mean, on a
For
scale, on a scales of 1 to 10. Oh, Jesus Christ! Now I'm
Oh,
doing it. No,
let's not
no,
carp
no.
on about it. Listen to me. We are going to wrap this show up, Tom, before we start a row, because if we're going to get starting a row about fish jokes, then I think we really are going to fall out. So, thank you, everybody, for listening to the Tom and Jerry show, a row-free show, some might say.
There's no row free show around where I live. Not when I caught wind of what you're planning on doing next. I can put up with this running crack, Jerry, but I
But
am.
this next bit maybe might start a row, would it?
I'm starting a row.
My attitude is don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
I'm after catching wind. This running crack, while I don't believe in it, I admire. No, I don't even admire. I just appreciate and respect. It's much like, if you decided to join Scientology, I go, okay, Jerry, you let me know how it works out. Tell me when you get a
Yeah,
gammy toe from Scientology. That's what I would
yeah.
be into. But I'm after catching wind that you may possibly end up in a dry rope. I'm after catching wind
Yeah, I
that you
gotta
might
tell you
find
now,
yourself down at the 40 foot, doing all, and before I know it, you will be up in Stony Batter eating from every other Instagram famous pizza joint. And Jesus fucking Christ Almighty, Jerry, sea swimming. I thought I told you about this. I thought I told you about this. You've no business inside in that thing.
well, here's the thing, right? And it's not that I seen Alice the fish swimming around and thought to myself, I might have a bit of that, hey.
Yeah.
But yes, Tom, I am toying with the idea of starting swimming in the sea.
To what end? Getting eaten by something. Look what happened to Alice.
Um, yeah, but look, if the end result is this is I end up with, quite a large online following, then so be it. Worked out well for her. She's got more followers than you and me put together, I'm told.
Jesus Christ.
No, Tom, here's the idea, right? Okay, so I am at the minute now, I'm doing a bit of running, fair enough.
Yeah.
Um, so there are two paths stretching in front of me. Do I go down the route of cycling or do I go down the route of
Oh,
swimming?
Jesus. Those are the only
And
two paths you could find. You could only find the one where you basically display your ball bag to the world in a pair of skin tight trousers, and then clip clop your way up to have a latte with all the other lads on a Sunday. Or, geez, I'm after it. By the way, I've just opened the seventh portal of hell there by dissing cyclists ever so slightly. Wait and you see what this is going to do to this episode. But anyway, or you want to get down with the guys down to the 40 foot, is it? And just
But
really, there's nothing like seawater. Oh yeah, I love sewage. I love raw sewage, just flapping up the back of my neck, just with a bunch of owl ones getting in there. It
you're
really
asking, are they the
resets your
only
system. It really resets your system. That's what it does.
you're asking, are they the only two paths open to me, Tom? Yeah, well, like, the day I sprout wings and I can fly, I'll talk about that. But right for now, no, we are talking by land or by sea. I don't know what your problem is with swimming in the sea. I swim a wee bit with the kids in a pool, and that's all
There
very
you
well
go.
and good.
That that's what
End
you're
of
supposed
episode.
to.
Yeah, good luck.
That's
Tom's
that's
just
it.
like,
That
yeah, that'll do.
I
Yeah.
don't see. You've already cracked the nut. I don't know what else you want to do with the nut. Why would you now? You're going to try and make almond butter out of that nut when the nut by itself was absolutely fine. You crack the nut. You go swimming with the kids inside a grand sorted clean pool with a car park. You can get a packet of crisps in the vending machine on the way out. What more do
Interesting.
you need? You got to go now,
Well,
gandering down
we
to
only
some. Oh, Jesus Christ! You're not going. Oh Lord.
all right, okay, so look at this, right? We only talked last week about how after we bought mobile phones, that was the last time we ever jumped into a body of water. And that
Yeah.
got me thinking, maybe I would like to jump into a body of water. Now you can't jump. Beside me is the canal, and I'm advised not to swim in that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd second whatever,
You'd
unless
second that.
unless you're some sort of and a repulsion to creosote, because that's essentially all you're swimming in. Like, I would, unless you can keep that off your system, I'd stay out of the canal.
Well, where I live, which is Dublin, let's on to the sea, which is fair enough. And we've
Yeah,
got piers, Tom. Not
yeah,
Piers Morgan, like piers that you can walk down. So it's not like you're going swimming in the sea, like you'd have to walk into the breakers with the kids paddling and then, walk out into the water and dip around the place. Because that is, I know what you're saying about like gick and sewage and all that kind of thing. But if you walk out the pier, you walk past where all the gick is, and then
oh,
you're out into
great,
CC, which is where
great.
the water's deep and
And
cold.
what's
Really
the
cold, Tom.
just going to go swimming in cold water too?
Yeah, I mean, like I've heard a lot about it, and it talks a good game.
Like, I will give them their due. They do talk a good game and whatnot, and you get people going, "Oh, do you know what?
All you hear is boys, and then look at Tom. I want to say one thing straight and foremost. Okay. I'm not gonna be, no matter what I do, I'm not gonna be a bollocks about it. You gotta trust me on that. So you're there
I'll give you
straight
that.
away. You're straight away going like, oh, you're going to be on Instagram with the guys eating pizza in Stony Batter, which is not jutting onto the sea. Last I checked, uh, or you're going to be, in a dry robe no, Tom, I'm not going to be in a dry robe. I'm going to be doing like the ball floss with the biggest towel in the house on the pier.
Right. Listen, Jerry, I talked about this very, very long ago. And when we sat in, I believe in my car, was in Blackrock, and we sat there
Mm.
recording, and we looked out over the sea, and you see people paying premium for any scut of a property to look out at that fucking featureless death pit. That fucking
I
absolute
remember what you said, Tom. I remember it
straight
well.
line, one straight line. That's all you can look at. And people go, isn't it beautiful? Let's just draw a fucking line across your window. Just get a fucking ruler and draw a straight line across your window. And that's literally the
I
horizon.
will I will never forget Tom O'Mahony's take on the sea. I've said it to many people since. He looked out at the sea and he said, "Do you know what I'd do with that?" I says, "What, Tom? Fill it into fuck." and and I appreciate that, Tom.
I tell you now, Jer, quite often with age and stuff and perspective, people's attitudes change, and maybe, my opinion can change. And sir, it's changed a lot of things as I've gotten older, having becoming a father since then. And as I look at the sea and you talk about the sea, I have to say, I feel exactly the fucking same way. Back in as many trucks as you fucking can. Bring a Saudi prince with all the fucking money in the world and fill that fucking thing up. I have no mass on the sea whatsoever. It's not meant for us. There are certain things we're not meant to do. You can't climb the sea. You can't drive in the sea. You can't
No, you
eat in
can
the
swim in
sea.
it, Tom.
We've no business swimming in it, Jar. We're not built for swimming. If we had built for swimming, we'd have web feet, and those are people from Leitrim. Do you know what I mean? That's not us. We're not meant to be
I
anywhere near it. We have to do everything to try and sort ourselves from not dying in it. Do you know what I mean? Rubbing down goose fat on your body. Or you go to a place that's actually tepid where you can go and swim in it. Lo and behold, there's literal dinosaurs waiting to eat you. Literal dinosaurs. The oaks that have been around for 65 million years going, lovely. Lovely.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I'm not going to get chomped by a great white off the pier in Rings
You're
End
not,
yet.
but you're going to die of hypothermia from being in our sea. Or you'll get a sewage staph infection on your flute. Something disgusting's going to happen. And worse, aside from all that, you have to hang around with other scrotum-faced people who want to talk about how class it is. That's probably my biggest problem. Anoraks of the sea.
Anoraks of the Sea. Well, we if it's one thing the Tom and Jerry show doesn't like, it's zealots in
Oh,
any
God.
way, shape, make, or form. Once you like we had the people giving out about Alice the fish flopping around that she wasn't putting the right fish tank. So I suppose if I was to rock up down the pier and say, right, I'm going in this water, I'd have people going like, oh, well, you couldn't possibly go in at 8:15 a.m. You have to wait until 8:20. Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose, yeah. But like from a pure fitness point of view, Tom, would you not consider it a good use of your time?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Avoiding death. Yeah. Just go down to
Well,
the.
I tell you, nothing will motivate you like not dying, Tom.
But Jesus Christ, Jerry. Jesus Christ. There is no rhyme or reason as to. There's no in, there's no out of that scenario that I can appreciate. I'm just looking at it going, every bit and end of that is stupid. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's not there to be conquered because we have no hope against it. Like literally, look out at the sea, Ger. All it's saying back to you is no hope. That's it. Those 2 words. That would be if the sea was running for the general election or the local election. The sea would just have vote number 1 for Sea O'Flaherty. And in inverted commas, it's one quote would be, no hope. There is no hope here. There is nothing for you here. Go away. Find a forest, Ger. I've probably become very biased of late since I've actually building a house in the middle of a forest because everything around me makes sense. It's like, oh, one of those falls over. Guess what I do with it? If that was a tree made out of sea, it would just quench my fire, Jerry. It would make me cold. Do you see what I'm saying? You want fitness.
I do.
Go down to the pool. Do you know what I mean? Take a bit of, I don't know, pre-workout. Absolutely fly up and down the lanes as much as you want. You get out. You know the chances of a shit flying into your mouth are very low. Somewhere off the coast of Dublin, there could be a brown fish tracking you down from the second you get in there because people do that. Do you know what I mean? Raw sewage is definitely getting out. Every company in Dublin is not getting rid of their sewage legally. I promise you. There is some Shelbyville crowd up there dumping radioactive stuff, and there's fish getting picked up and dropped in people's gardens. It's a no for me, Ger. No, you're not getting that.
It's a no from Tom.
It's a no,
I gotta
I'm
tell you,
afraid.
brother, you make a compelling argument, but I'm gonna have to put this open to the fine folks of the Tom and Jerry audience to see what their take on it all is before I dip my wee mashed up toes into the sea. If you want to have your say on sea swimming, or in Tom's regards, staying the hell out of the sea, you can let us know. As many of you are doing over on our social media channels, which is at Tom and Jerry Show. Will get us on Twitter or indeed Instagram, and from there you'll find him at Tom_O'Mahony and my good self at Jerry McBride, Jerry with a G. Follow us there, and then we will throw up manky toes, communist propaganda, everything you want to hear, Tom.
There is. If you are, whatever platform you're listening on, whether it's Spotify or Apple, you can rate it. Give it the 5 stars, please. Or what if there's 7 stars is the top one, then give it that. If you can leave a comment, great. Screen grab it, tag us, because it's great when we see a tag, because at least then we know, we can post it. Maybe take a picture of what you're up to. We had a lad up a roof the other day listening away to us. He took a picture and sent it on. He was more than happy to do it. And we've gotten a couple more as well. Leave in the comments are brilliant. I love it. People are commenting on stuff when we put it up. So
please do
jump on it. Jerry's very good at the socials. He's very good at the socials. We will put, of course, remember to put up the poll of Jerry's toe versus my finger. We've got 2 manky appendages this week. And yeah, we didn't have to go anywhere gross on our body to find them. They're in 2 fairly normal places. On one being toe, one being foot. Or we are one of the few nations in the world who are English speakers, one of the few peoples in the world who actually have a word for toes. Normally they're called fingers of your feet.
And if you would like to join in on the fun here, why don't you just take a hammer and smash your finger or toe and send us a wee picture. Other than that, thank you very much for listening to the Tom and Jerry Show. We hope you either vote wisely tomorrow or have voted wisely in the days gone by.
Mind yourself. Connected best and thanks.
Good luck. Tom and Jerry Show is sponsored by findavenue.ie.
For over 10 years, findavenue.ie has been working in the Dublin area, helping thousands of companies with all their venue needs. From corporate parties to away days, training seminars, conferences, summer barbecues to Christmas parties. The lot.
As a pair of comedians who know what it's like when the wrong venue gets booked for the wrong occasion, we can assure you that findavenue.ie is the go-to service when you're looking for a venue for your upcoming event. Simply contact them at findavenue.ie and they'll do the rest, saving you precious time and hassle.
Best of all, findavenue.ie is absolutely free to use.
Get out of here.
I'm telling you now, with findavenue.ie, free means free. No hidden costs or sneaky charges, all backed up with an incredible team offering you great customer service throughout the whole process. If you need a venue for anything from corporate day out to a quiz night, a gala dinner, or even a virtual event, findavenue.ie is your one-stop shop for all.
Head over to findavenue.ie to see how they can help you with your next event.
Thanks again to this week's sponsor for the Tom and Jerry Show, findavenue.ie.